Because I'm going to pick up right there as soon as I switch.
Is it just
over.
the three of us?
It's going to be three of us today.
Aww.
Welcome to the 206th Angry Cuddles podcast. My name is Steven. With me, as always, is a bevy of insecurities that I project onto Chuck. Joining me today is Chuck.
Hi, I have his bevy of insecurities today.
He's a Byronic Commando on Twitter or Twitch, and you've gotten your stream up and rolling.
It is up and rolling for the most part. Those of you who've been catching the past couple episodes know the kind of technical issues that I'm having. Mostly because I'm a fuckhead who doesn't know how to do proper board op.
There's a this is the sixth, well actually a total maybe 10th time that I've done the stream here. Yeah. And every time I do it, there's always one little thing that needs to be flipped or switched or change the bit rate or change the resolution. So it's fine. Take your time. We'll figure it out.
I'm a perfectionist, damn it!
And also joining to say, never mind the graphic. Will Roth from Moonlight Native, a local Fort Worth band. You on your website, you say folk band. That's what you identify as.
Folk rock. Folk rock from Fort Worth.
I'll go with it.
Yeah.
I'll go with it.
Okay.
Folk walk from Fort. That's hard to say.
Folk rock. From
folk walk or folk walk.
But
you want to slip a few more F words in there.
Go to moonlightnative.com and go to Moonlight Native on Facebook. It's the only Moonlight Native on Facebook.
That's true.
They are. I've heard your SoundCloud, and I've heard you sang a Moonlight Native song at Tap House during a karaoke set a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that was actually the first exposure that I had to your music. And I sat there and I turned to my friend Megan and I was like, is this their fucking song? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, this is phenomenal.
Oh, that's what happened the first time I heard them. I heard them man, this sounds pretty cool. That dude's got a good voice. Sounds kind of like Will. Holy shit. Hey, Will,
fucking wrong.
Hey,
holy shit.
This guy sounds like you. I know it does.
Was it playing in between the songs?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So
we like to, shamelessly plug ourselves into anything we possibly can.
By all means, and that's what I want to do today was to help you do that. Not that you need our help, but I was thinking earlier because when I was originally writing the little Watch Us on Monday thing, I was like indie band, and I was like indie and pop are actually not genres of music; they're statuses. So they're, independent or popular. Mm-hmm. But we use them as genres.
Yeah,
they're like suffix or prefixes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when someone says indie band, you get this idea of an indie band, but you actually have no idea what style of music.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they play, it could be an indie ska band, but you can't be an indie pop band, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't even realize how many subgenres of genres that are even were out there until my girlfriend just recently got me into. It's called dream pop or something, and it's shoegaze.
Shoegaze is old school.
Is it old school? Yeah.
You know Pavement?
No.
Pavement's one of the founding fathers. It's like a 25-year-old band.
Oh, wow.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah. I wasn't even aware of that.
The shoegaze movement, I think,
is called ambient music?
Not quite. Not quite. Aphex Twin technically does ambient.
Okay.
Pavement's definitely sounds like a precursor, I think, to Weezer.
Okay.
Where it's just a bunch of guys and they're really self-conscious of themselves and they're really uncomfortable when they're on stage. That's why they call them shoegaze, because when they're on stage, they're just up there on stage and just kind of looking at their shoes.
I thought it was sort of you're supposed to get high and look at your laces and imagine stuff.
No.
Sweet.
Oh, honey.
Oh, my legs are fucked up. I've been moving and I've been.
I'm the one with bug bites.
Yeah. So, when did you guys know each other? You guys knew each other before the band. That's a relatively recent thing, right?
The band?
Before Moonlight Native?
Oh, yeah. Well, I met Noah through karaoke, actually. One night, Joshua. Mm-hmm. I met him at karaoke, too.
Familiar story.
Yeah, one night we were, I was doing a karaoke competition, and I got beat out by Joshua. Was
he the one that sang the opera?
Yeah,
okay.
and that's what he beat me with. And I was like, who is this guy? He's amazing. Yeah. So I went up to him and I did what any, American man would do. I go up to him and I say, "Do you want to go to breakfast with me?" And he said, "Yeah, let's go to breakfast." So
I love your pipes.
Yeah.
Let's sleep together. I mean, if that worked as well,
But he dragged me to Noah's karaoke the next weekend, I think, and then I met Noah, and then we started doing open mics together
At the current venue that we see you at, or at a different venue?
Yeah, at the current one, and
so you were at a karaoke competition, and the person who met the karaoke competition brought you to what is now the Tap House,
right,
and that's where you met.
That's where I
Noah.
met Noah.
And
we started playing music together.
Uriel was already a friend of Noah, or
no? And then we went to another karaoke competition.
You're just
And
collecting
then,
people.
yeah, collecting people from karaoke. But that's one of the, I think, the coolest things about our band personally to me is that the whole band is lead singers. You know what I mean? So like,
I was going to ask you about that next. Actually.
Yeah, everybody goes in there and like sings all these different harmonies, and it's like just cake to them. I can't sing harmonies worth a flip, but like, they're like so phenomenal at it that I sing my lines and then it's like behind me is like
you guys do your thing,
like this whole chorus. It's really cool.
So karaoke born of karaoke,
born of karaoke, Moonlight native.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So what spurred the idea then of, hey, we're all like musicians and shit, so let's all do that musician-y thing together?
Well, Yuri didn't come aboard the band until much later.
But you guys already had the band.
Yeah, we had a band before Moonlight Native. Before Moonlight Native turned into what it was. The same members. It was called Coat of Arms, and we started thinking, this name kind of sounds like a video game or a metal band. Coat of Arms. And we were like, we should probably change it. And then we were struggling to find set members and everything. We had a girl lead singer or backup singer for a while, and she was great. And she got a boyfriend and wanted to do her own thing and everything. And
it
happens, yeah. But and then Yuri
tears the band apart,
right? No.
Yokoed.
And Yuri he was really excited to come aboard because he was always a lead guitarist, and then one day we were at the food park and he was playing somebody's bass and was like nailing it, and I was playing my songs and he was like playing all of my songs along and harmonizing. I was like, first off, you can sing while you play bass. I was like, come. You're an idiot. Join my band.
You don't just sing and play bass. You harmonize and play bass.
Exactly.
And that's a skill.
Yeah. I was like, you know who does that, Yuri? Sting does that. Okay. Join the band.
Spit take averted.
Yeah.
He's a guitar player and translated that to bass.
Absolutely. And he's become so good at it. You know, like he picked it up so quickly. It blows my mind. And so we've just been on a little warpath now, just trying to carve our name into Fort Worth, and it's been working.
Collected your good job so far.
Yeah, it's
where have you guys any set venues or anything that you normally play at?
You should go look up
their
their YouTube channel because they've done all sorts of live gigs.
Yeah, we've done a lot of live stuff. We currently the next thing we're doing is it's called Cinderblock Sessions, and it's July,
a recording, right?
Yes, it's July 10th. It's going to be it's in this really cool like loft in Dallas, and it's got like a bunch of HD cameras. They record the whole thing with a big audience, and it's BYOB, so it's going to be really cool.
Woo!
So be on the lookout for the Cinderblock sessions. We'll be posting them on moonlightnative.com.
Yeah, you guys have a calendar of like your upcoming events on the website.
Absolutely, yeah. You can find that on the website too.
So with how busy you guys are, where do you squeeze in the time for Elder Scrolls?
Oh, any chance I get.
Yeah?
I'm obsessed with it. Like,
who kicked off the Elder Scrolls thing?
I did. I've been following it for like 3 years. Like,
did you hear the response to my question? This is clearly the spearhead. This is the ESO man.
Yeah.
Did you start on PC?
No.
Okay.
No. When I first heard about it, I was working for a company down in Garland. It's called Solution Technology. So I had like my own office, and I was just internet surfing a lot.
Yeah.
And I come across the symbol, what is that called? Ouroboros.
The Ouroboros,
the
snake eating itself.
And I was like, what is that? And then it's just had a date right underneath it, and I was like, and then I clicked on it and said Elder Scrolls Online, and I almost just like shit. I was so excited because I'd been an Elder Scrolls fan, since Morrowind. I didn't play anything before that, but
I didn't play anything before Morrowind either.
Yeah, Morrowind was amazing. Oblivion was great. Skyrim was what it was. It was amazing. I loved it. And
I remember the first time I saw Morrowind. My friends Sam and Glenn, they had an apartment together. They were both playing it in the same room independently, because it wasn't a multiplayer game or anything.
Right.
They were both in the same room playing Morrowind, and I'd watch them, and I'd be like, this looks boring as shit. There's a lot of walking, It's like an MMO without the other people.
Right.
And so it took me a while to wrap my head around, but then once I actually started, okay, I see what's going on here. I can do anything I want. Mm-hmm. And so that's, that had a lot of staying power.
And that's precisely what he did. When he and I first met, he was still playing through Morrowind himself.
Oh, wow.
Well, I showed up during, the last stages.
Yeah, I got there late, but I was... So you're a Morrowind fan already.
Yeah, huge Morrowind.
You learn about ESO, and you just have to watch other people play it until it comes to console?
Absolutely. So I heard a lot of mixed reviews on it, and I knew it wasn't going to be anything like Skyrim or Morrowind or anything like that. But I still had these high hopes, these dreams of playing with all my friends, running through Tamriel and loving life.
Well, and on console that's harder, because if they don't have the console you have to pitch the game, and you have to pitch the console at them.
Which I did.
I told you, he's a spearhead.
Forever, I was on my friends all the time, sitting in videos, hey, check this gameplay footage out. Pretty cool, huh?
Were they more Elder Scrolls fans already, or
no?
Oh shit! So you had a lot of big hill to climb.
Yeah, my buddy had played Skyrim. I think who hadn't played Skyrim in the video game world, but so they had kind of dabbled in that, not have been, they weren't as obsessive as I was over it, but I felt like I was trying to convince them to join my band all over again, because it's my whole band plays it. Yeah, my whole band plays it now.
Are you guys all in the same group? Do you guys group together?
Well,
absolutely. Yeah.
Why would you have your band play an MMO?
We don't play together. We all just play.
Okay, well, it's me and my friends Sam and Jonathan try to play Neverwinter on Xbox One because it's free, and we just wanted something to do together. Mm-hmm. And getting them,
wait, that's on Xbox?
It's on Xbox One. Yeah, it's a free MMO on Xbox One. Neverwinter. Yeah, it's a Dungeons and Dragons MMO. It's real simple.
You're thinking Neverwinter Nights. Right?
Yeah,
it's from the. No, Neverwinter Nights is not from Dungeons and Dragons. That's a BioWare game, right?
I was thinking so.
Neverwinter Nights is
BioWare's first game, Baldur's Gate, was based on AD&D's second edition.
Oh, okay. So all from the same ancestry here. But the where am I going with this? Oh yeah, trying to get them to not level when I'm not playing. It's create a second fucking character.
Yeah.
Do that one on your own. Holy shit.
And that's exactly what we did.
You realize, however, that you're telling your friends to not play a game until
that I'm trying to get them
with you.
No, I know. I get you.
Yeah. It's the video game world.
Yeah.
We're all hypocrites.
I try not to be.
Okay, so you
have a reputation to uphold.
System, and you get them in, and they're into it. Is there anybody that you have to whip into dude, we're getting on? Seriously, join us.
Not really. In fact, I get on sometimes, and Noah will just be on, playing by himself, doing whatever, and I'll come riding up on my horse. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, oh, I didn't even know you're in the game right now. I'm like, hey, what's up? So, and that's the cool thing about ESO is it's so different from other MMOs.
Did you play other MMOs before?
Yeah,
WoW or anything?
I played WoW. I played Star Wars Galaxies.
Wow.
You played Galaxies?
I played Galaxies.
Did you play the Old Republic at all?
I played, no, I didn't play Old Republic.
Okay.
I watched a lot of gameplay footage. I really wanted to play that game.
I still technically have it. I still have my character and stuff on the Old Republic.
Yeah.
And we go to it every now and again. We played so much of it over the course of 6 months, where it's every day for 3 hours for 6 months, and I got burned out on it.
Oh, wow.
That's what happened with me in WoW.
Yeah.
I made level 42, and I was like, you know what? I'm done.
I washed my hands clean.
So what's your level?
On
ESO?
On ESO, I'm 22 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you guys diversify, in terms of
Absolutely.
Okay, so if we're going to be a band...
Yeah.
we
gotta have all the instruments, yeah.
We need to make sure everything's covered. So who does what?
So I'm a rogue, because that's what I've always been in every.
This charismatic stallion, of course he is.
And of course, I have to make my character look exactly like me. A lot of people, a lot of people don't care enough. It's like, I was playing with a buddy the other day, and he was like, I'm going to make a character on your server or whatever, your area, so I can play with you. And I was like, yeah, sure. And 5 minutes later, he's in the game, and I'm like, did you not spend any time on your character? And he's like, I just hit random. I was like, I hate you. I don't play with you anymore. How dare you?
Why bother?
The setup doesn't even look right anymore.
So it was just, so I'm a rogue. It's just who I am. I love that. I love sneaking. I love bows. I shoot bows in real life, so it's like, I love it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Awesome. I was asking about your bow a little while ago.
Yeah.
Mike's bow.
Nice bow. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Noah he's the Templar. He's like the healer, the paladin of the group. Yeah.
The Chuck.
The Chuck. He's the Chuck. Dustin is our drummer, is our sorcerer.
Okay.
And he was the guy who didn't even know he could customize his characters. So he's in the game and he's just like this randomized dude. And I was like, he's like, I wasn't really a fan of the customization of this game. The fact that there was none kind of threw me. And I was like, you just had to press the right trigger. It opens up all the customization. He's like, oh, well, I'm already level 8, so I'm not gonna mess with that.
Is there not like because some MMOs and some RPGs have items where you can sort of like re-customize at a certain point or something?
I don't think they haven't introduced any in ESO yet, but we've heard of all kinds of cool patches that they're doing that are gonna
Plastic surgery.
Yeah, right. They did in Skyrim. They had a plastic surgeon patch that you could download.
Skyrim to Saints Row.
Yeah, right.
Mods are where it's at.
Mods are where it's
It's
at.
hard to mod to the same effect in MMO, but still.
I've seen Conan the Barbarian in Skyrim, That was a mod.
Oh, that's pretty
You
cool.
think?
Yeah. It was a good one, too.
Yeah, Skyrim's not an MMO though.
True.
Yeah.
But
your other two band members.
Mm-hmm. So Uriel, he actually is getting his Xbox.
He's still on the way to
He's still
ESO.
on the way to ESO.
Okay.
Yeah. He's getting his Xbox. I think this weekend. Yeah, what's today? The 30th?
No, it's
29th.
The 29th is today. Okay, so yeah, he's getting his like the 30th to the 31st.
Awesome.
And then my girlfriend was watching me play one day, and then she goes out, comes back with an Xbox and the game and everything, and she's
I'll be right back, honey.
Yeah,
okay,
like,
I
I'm
love
ready
you.
to
I
play.
love you too. Click.
and she's amazing because if you've ever met Bree, she's this quiet girl, and she's got a lot going on. She's super smart and focused, and then all of a sudden, like, we'll be all like on us, crouching and like sneaking, and then you just see her in the background and be like, and you just hear shit over the mic, and you're like, what happened? And turn around, she's just getting attacked by something. But she's for that being like her first game, like really like ever, her first like serious game. She's really good at it. Like she caught on really quick.
Well, that's a really cool experience too. Like you have an MMO as a brand new gamer's very first game.
Yeah.
So she gets to hang out with you and all your friends, and her first experience with gaming, therefore, is social.
Right.
Not, isolated and
Exactly.
alone.
Yeah.
So to see that, like, I kind of wish I had started with an MMO now.
Yeah.
But, I started 25 years ago. It's a little late for me.
Yeah, you didn't have that option. You couldn't come in then. So when they released the next generation of consoles, I knew what I was getting first, and I don't have any sort of real Xbox versus PS4 allegiance or anything like that. I just knew that the games that I wanted to play were on Xbox, and I enjoyed Xbox Live a lot more than I enjoyed PSN. And I've played online with PlayStation before, and it took them a long time to get even anywhere close to the level that Xbox Live was at. For me, it was really easy. I gathered my party, I gathered my friends, we're already in chat, it was all just inclusive and together. So when they did the next generation systems, I lobbied heavily for the Xbox One. Not because I don't want people to get PS4s, but because I know we to be in the same universe. Mm-hmm. It's like Mike is leaning towards PS4, and that was tough. I knew that I had to inception people into Xbox One. So I don't know what you did, but what I did was I talked to Jonathan. He's the guy that sings
Feeling This.
No.
He also does A Whole New World.
No, I mean, yes, that one, but there's this one specific one that he sings, like, every time. something.
Oh,
Wagon Wheel.
Wagon Wheel.
That's it. The
Oh,
Wagon
Bernardus.
Wheel guy. Yeah, Bernardus.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you,
No, not
said
Mosley.
John.
No, Jonathan. He had sort of an unexpected windfall of cash, and I was the devil on his shoulder that was like, Xbox One, dude. I'll play stuff. And he did it, and now regrets having done it. But he's got it, so we're there for multiplayer.
That's the second time that's happened in his life.
And, yeah, Parker says Wagon Wheel. She got it, too. Sam, my friend Sam, when his birthday came around, I was like, okay, I got everybody to pitch in like $10,
Mm-hmm.
and 30 people, 40 people pitched in $10. We easily got him an Xbox One, and so I was trying to seed those. How did you make your sale?
Oh,
well, for starters, what system?
It was Xbox One.
Xbox One?
Yeah.
Okay,
for
no, I
sure.
know.
Well, it was to me, as any politician would do, I would lie, and be like, the PS4, they're faulty network, and blah blah blah. I would just lobby the shit out of Xbox One, and
Just a really effective lobbyist.
yeah. And,
Again, charismatic stallion.
I have no reason to not believe you.
yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, PS4 is great, and I had a PS2, I have a PS3, and I love PlayStation. I love the games that are exclusive on it, like Uncharted and things like that are mind-blowing games. They're so much fun.
The Last of Us.
Dude, I cried 2 times during The Last of Us.
When?
I
Come here.
kid you not.
Bring it in, man.
I kid
Bring
you
it
not.
in.
Wait.
I cried 2 times. First in the intro.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
When he's going, come on, baby girl, come on. And he's,
He got the voice
yeah.
too. Damn it! You could cosplay as pretty effective Joel. By the way,
I would love to, but mine would be like another 20 years in, and he's had his run. And then the last time I cried in that game was when your spoiler alert.
It's
3,
been long enough.
2,
Yeah.
1.
So when he's running out of the hospital and he's carrying her,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, "Come on, baby girl," and he calls her baby girl like he used to
Like
call
he
his
did at the
daughter.
beginning.
Oh my god!
Just
And
lost it.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, what is this feeling? What's
It's
happening?"
called fatherhood.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh god!" And he, just the fact that he kills that woman who was trying to
Marlo.
Marlo.
Yeah.
He
Marlene.
kills
Marlene.
Marlene. Yeah.
Yeah.
He kills her just so she'll never
She
come
don't have to
after
come
her
back,
again.
yeah.
Yeah. And that to me was like, oh my god, like these characters are so deep. Like this. It
Fuck
goes
The
far
Walking
beyond the
Dead.
game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
play this game.
Well, they're doing a movie of Last of Us now.
Yeah.
yeah.
A full. It's Sam Raimi is directing. Yeah.
That's news to me.
Yeah.
Chuck, look that up.
Internet.
Sam Raimi and Last of Us. I could see Sam Raimi and Last of Us.
Yeah.
That's a good marriage.
I don't know.
You got the horror, that you have that Evil Dead side. You have that sort of Spider-Man-y kind of fun sensibility to it as well.
I'm
I could
afraid
see
he
that.
might kind of overdo the Evil
He
Dead
might,
aspect.
he might cheese it up a bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, which would
I mean, it has its funny points, but The Last of Us is funny not for the sake of being funny. It's funny
It's
because
character funny.
it's character development and relationship development.
So I did that. I started the game because I knew I was going to like it because I like the Naughty Dog stuff. I like Uncharted, and I go in and I heard fantastic.
Oh
things
my
about
god!
it. I start.
You know who's going to be Ellie? Maisie Williams,
Maisie Williams.
Arya Stark.
Oh,
really.
okay.
Rumored, at least. Writer
Rumored.
Neil Druckerman.
Wow. I could see that though.
Yeah. There's worse. There
There
are
is-
worse casting calls
yeah.
than that.
Sam Raimi is producing.
Okay.
So there's your answer right there.
Okay. So I started playing the beginning of it and the intro. I've cried at the end of games before. That's not like new to me.
Mm-hmm.
But at the beginning of the game, 15 minutes, 20 minutes into the game, and his daughter's killed, and they're trying to get out of Austin. Right when the little intro credits start happening, and I was there with Joseph, who's the artist for Angry Cuddles, and at the time my girlfriend Megan we're sitting there and I'm, what the fuck? I just met these people.
Yeah.
What the hell is happening?
Yeah.
And like they were like laughing at me, and so like Megan's watching me play through the game because she liked to watch things as movies, games as movies. Arkham City. She watched. There are a few others that we did, but The Last of Us, when the giraffes come in, she lost her shit.
Yeah,
and that was her Last of Us cry moment.
Yeah, that was a great moment. I mean,
I cried after Ellie kills that dude
with the
yeah
with the machete.
Like, I cried immediately after that, and just when I started calming down, that was when Joel showed back up.
Yeah,
and pulled her up, and I just lost it again.
Because she's like going.
Oh, she has lost her shit. She's like, yeah, covered in blood afterward.
The voice actors in Last of Us is Ashley Johnson, who does Ellie, and Troy Baker does Joel. I don't remember if I told you this story, but I was reading. They were talking about being cast, and Ashley Johnson was cast first, and they had a different Joel and a different voice actor. And the way that they shot those scenes was they did it like a play. They put them in outfits, and they recorded their voice acting not in a studio like you normally would, but on stage, where they would act it out, and they would get the motion capture with the voice at the same time. And there's physical interactions with each other. So there's a scene where Joel, she runs away, and Joel goes to find her, and she's in the house, and she's like reading through shit. Mm-hmm. And she gets up, and there's a line where she goes, "And everybody's left me, Joel, except for fucking you," and she like shoves him. Well, Ashley did that, like that. She did that shove thing to the actor, and the actor who was originally supposed to play Joel sort of snapped and sort of like came at her like a fuck you back kind of thing. And so they were like, this isn't going to work. So they fired that Joel, and they brought in Troy, and she, they got physical in their scenes and like hit each other and stuff. And that interaction, specifically that scene where it was like he had a very sort of fatherly kind of feel to her already, and sort of lets her shove him and doesn't, react like an asshole.
Yeah,
is what got him that job.
Oh, cool.
Really.
I figured it was because he sounds like he's from just outside Austin.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that really got me, like at the very very beginning, when you're trying to get out of your brother's house, or he comes to pick you up and you're driving out of town.
Right before that sign.
You see, it's not just the sign.
Yeah.
It's the sign, it's the T, it's the rock formations on the side, and I'm like, motherfuck, that's Liberty Hill.
Yeah.
We just drove out of the street that my goddamn aunt and uncle lived down.
Right.
And I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's the coolest part, is that's what immersed me so hard into that game at the very beginning, especially, and I think all Texans gamers can agree on that level, is like, when you're first pulling up and you see the Texas sign and it says 35 that way, and you're like,
no,
oh
stop
my
that.
God, you're like, I'm in Austin right now. You're like, this is nuts. It's crazy. And they did it so well. I mean, that game blew me away. It truly, to me, changed.
We got a little sidetrack here, but we'll
Yeah.
throw back to
It's The Last of Us. We can accept the
Last for like
sidetrack.
6 hours. So, when did you pre-order? Did you ESO when it came out?
I did. Total mistake. And I've realized I'm no longer pre-ordering anything ever.
What was your problem with pre-order?
Well, and I pre-ordered The Witcher as well.
Okay.
So I've been kind of pre-ordering games.
I pre-ordered Fallout 4, and I don't pre-order, and I went ahead and did that. But the reason that I do it is because when I order it from the Microsoft Store, I go to MicrosoftStore.com, and I pre-order from them, because they will give me, with each pre-order, you get either a $10 or $15 gift certificate on that. So if I'm going to buy that game anyway, I'm going to do it through them, and then use that money to buy DLC or whatever, because it's just going to be money on my Xbox.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I pre-ordered, and of course the game was not finished.
Yeah.
So you get the game.
Like usual, sadly.
You're so excited to play it. You get home, you pop it in.
Where's Daniel?
You do the
install?
7-hour install. And no exaggeration, 7-hour install.
yeah.
7?
7 hours. The game was 54 gigabytes just to install.
Jeez.
So there's the disk install, and then after that you have to do the update.
Yeah, then there's
preliminary
the
update.
Yeah.
And MMOs do that anyway. Like you have to do the install, you have to do the update, and it takes
7
forever.
hours?
Yeah.
But Destiny took forever.
But not. Yeah, Destiny took a while, but this was like,
This was a different animal.
My God, yeah. And I put it in. Me and my buddy Gary. I think you guys have met Gary. He's like the big bearded guy that comes to karaoke sometimes.
Yeah.
Sits with us. Yeah. He got it at the same time. He came over and he put his Xbox in our office, and like, so it was like he was in the office, I was in the living room, and like we were ready to go, and then like we're like, wait, Why does it only say 7%? Why is it staying at 7%? And then,
crap.
5 hours later, why is it only at 32%? What's happening?
I guess we're playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you got a 7-hour download time, you're playing tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. So it took forever, and then finally you download the game, you're ready to go, and then no one could get in. Like, the login was broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'd click login, it would load, and then it would say login error. Every single time until the next day at around 6 p.m.
Sounds like Diablo 3.
It was bad. But, ZeniMax, they got on the ball pretty fast, and...
Well, you got to fix that as immediately as you can.
I mean, you got, a million people out there that just paid $60 for this game, and then
$60 in 8 hours of time.
And 8 hours of time, and it doesn't even work.
Non-subscription, right? There's no
non-subscription. It's free to play. It's but it's but now that it's working, they've released a couple of patches, a couple of updates, and it runs like totally smooth.
Okay, excellent.
And it's so much fun.
You don't want to be an early adopter. Early adopter MMOs, like, there better be some rewards for that or something.
That's true. And one thing, and I hope that the developers never find this glitch in the game. Or I hope they just left it in to give us something because of all the shit we had to deal with.
Do we need to kill the feed?
Kill the feed. Cut it out, yeah. Because there's a thing where if you're on your mount, you're on your horse or lion or whatever you're riding.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can have lions. It's amazing. And your horse has stamina, just like in Skyrim and stuff. And it doesn't matter if your horse's stamina goes all the way 0. Your horse is still sprinting, and it's forever. So I hope that they just leave it in because
leave the forever sprint.
Leave the forever sprint because
just with your mount or
just with your mount.
Okay,
yeah.
When you run out of stamina, you run out of
stamina.
Okay.
Absolutely, and which is great. I agree with that, but give us something for the shit you put us through on that opening.
Are there raids?
Mm-hmm.
Like traditional raids?
Yeah.
Have you guys done them as a group?
Not too much, because everyone's still, in my group, pretty low level.
Getting the bearings of the game still.
Yeah. And, but, like, I'm 22. Gary is, he's like our tank. He's just the big brute of the group. Yeah. And he's level 20. And, so everyone else is like 12 and under at the same time, and now we're on a kick where everyone's trying to become vampires too, so it's, awesome. It's super fun, and that's like half the community of the game that's playing it right now is
become vampire.
Yeah, and like everyone wants to do it because you become insanely powerful in the game.
You're not gonna like me because I'd be the dude that tried to become a werewolf.
Oh, well, I was a werewolf up until yesterday,
and
I cured my curse because I was you're really powerful as a werewolf, and like all the vampires hate you. Like you go to vampire shrines and that's where all the vampires like hang out and like talk to each other, and then all of a sudden like you'll just be in the middle of them. And the cool thing about the game is you can't tell who's who, what they are, because there's when you go scroll over their name or whatever, that's it, just the name comes up, their name and their level, that's it.
Okay.
You don't know like what class they are, you don't even know what race they are if they have a helmet on or anything like that. That's what's cool is it doesn't tell you anything. Nice. So you don't know a person's a werewolf unless they just can turn into a werewolf, and you're like, what the shit?
Parker says Team Will.
And
I'd get behind that team.
Team Will, Team Chuck.
I appreciate it.
I'll make buttons and little emo buttons to put on on backpacks and stuff.
Moonlight Native, written in the Twilight font.
But I went into a vampire guild, and they were like ready to accept me.
As a Lycan?
No, they didn't know I was a Lycan. And so I walked in there, and they were like having their meeting, and like they get really serious.
Are these
like,
players or NPCs?
These are players. And so and they're all the vampires. When you turn into a vampire, your skin gets totally pale white, and then you get like red eyes, and like you look really cool. And then so there's all these people that gather around, and you have so many emotes and things that you can do with your character that like, and you can hotkey them on the controller. So like you just hold down the right D-pad, and then you pick an emote that you want to do, and then like so they're all like sitting there like this. And they're like, so this is busting a cap, because that's my name. They're like, this is busting a cap, the new initiate, And I'm like, hey everybody. And they're like, greetings, bust a cap. And they're like, so you want to be a vampire, eh? And I'm like, yeah. And they have the ability to turn me into a vampire. That's what's cool in the game, is you don't have to just do a quest. They can just straight
players
up
can do.
Yeah. And so one comes walking up to me, and we're at the vampire shrine, and he wants to bite me, and he's like, "It's not letting me bite you. Why?" And I'm like, "I don't know, maybe because I'm a fucking wimp." And I turned into a werewolf, and they're like, "You piece of shit!" They were all so mad. It was great, and that's the kind of like just fun, no-brain, fun shit that you can do.
Why the fuck couldn't I have been there for that?
I know, it's so great.
This is awesome. I have to be on an entirely different server so I can pull that shit now.
Welcome, Death Brony T. We're talking with Will Roth from Moonlight Native. We're talking about Elder Scrolls Online now.
Friendship is metal.
And did they destroy you? What's the PvP like in that game? How does that work?
The PvP is in a certain area. It's in Cyrodiil, where Oblivion was set.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's like they call it the war capital in the game, is because in the game the Daedra, Prince Molag Bal.
Are there factions like in traditional RPGs? So like in the Old Republic, you're Imperial or you're no, it's Alliance and Imperial.
Alliance and Imperial.
And then in WoW, there's the Horde and the Alliance.
Right. And this one, there's 3 factions.
Okay.
There's the Aldemary Dominion, the Daggerfall Covenant, and the Ebonheart Pact.
Okay.
And the one issue I had with the game was that if somebody's in Aldemary Dominion, they can't play with people in Ebonheart Pact. Now, one thing that the developers pushed and said the whole map was available for everyone to run around on and play, and that was great because it combined Morrowind with Cyrodiil and Elsewhere and Daggerfall and
Elsewhere.
Yeah, you can go to where the Khajiits are from and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. And they said Skyrim's available, everything, the whole map is available for use. But then you get in the game and it's a section here of the map that has maybe Riften from Skyrim and like Winterhold, and then there's then you got like Morrowind, then you got Stone Falls, and you got this little area here for the Ebonheart Pact. Then over here on the other corner of the map, you have Daggerfall and you have Alderaan, like all these.
So I imagine you start in your own zone.
Yeah, you start in your own zones, and then once you hit level 50, you can travel to those other zones and do all their quests. Only those low-level quests that they have are now level 50 quests for you.
Oh, that's
which is pretty cool. Yeah. So you have basically what took you 200 hours plus of gameplay to complete not even half the quests that's in your location. You have all of those other starting quests in other locations available, but they adjust to your level.
That was one of the things that drove me nuts about WoW was, I was always Alliance because, again, Paladin. Mm-hmm. And after I'm done wandering around in the human land, I would go find myself in Dwarven land, and you would get out there and they would start giving you all the dwarf starting missions, not leveled up whatsoever. So I'm just like, okay, get over here and kill these 20 things. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
I'm done. Okay, here's your pittance. Ting, catch, cool. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Welcome, Rumble Floreskin, who says the barefoot on the table is a war crime.
I relaxed for the first time, goddammit.
That's fantastic.
You were presenting yourself as if you were trying to seduce the rest of the room. So, that's a fair assessment.
That's hilarious.
That's a fair assessment.
Wow.
Brony wants to know anything about Kingdom Hearts 3, and so we'll sidestep for a quick second. Did you play Kingdom Hearts at all?
I was a huge Kingdom Hearts fan.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1 took me to a world that was just magical.
And what a weird fucking concept.
Yeah.
Disney and Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Oh, and now they have Disney and Final Fantasy, plus the world ends with you.
Well, okay, so yeah, and, so obviously there's nothing been announced yet in terms of Kingdom Hearts 3, in terms of the other worlds that they'll be exploring, because now Disney's umbrella is so fucking enormous
Well, I've
now.
heard there's rumors of Star Wars now.
Yeah, Star Wars and Marvel characters are both
You've seen where Disney Infinity's gone now, right?
Disney Infinity already has all the shit.
Yeah.
Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Already has all that shit together. So there's that.
So let's
but
shoehorn all of that into a SquareSoft game.
They did show some very brief gameplay of Kingdom Hearts 3 at E3. Sora's still the main character. The combat looks a lot like Kingdom Hearts 2. I played through Kingdom Hearts. I played through the first one, and when I got finished with the first one, I went, I'm done. I don't care anymore. But I watched a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2. Did you follow through with 2?
I played Kingdom Hearts 2, and it was a blast.
Kingdom Hearts 2 is the one that I finished.
Okay, you did not finish the first one?
No.
Okay. Well, Kingdom Hearts 3 is no longer Sony exclusive. It'll be on PS4 and Xbox One.
What?
Yeah!
God, that's exciting!
Okay, alright.
The gameplay that they showed had some jumping, some wall running. There was summons and stuff, as you would expect from a Square Enix game. The director, Nomura, I believe.
Tetsuya Nomura?
I believe. Mm-hmm. Said that the combat was going to be very reminiscent of 2. And that this installment 3 is going to close that storyline. Well, end that storyline. Not that it's going to end Kingdom Hearts, because no successful franchises ever end. Ever. Except for Metal Gear Solid, which will probably end with 5. I'm guessing it's going to end with 5.
The only reason it's ending is because
Kojima
ugly divorce settlement between Kojima and Konami.
But that's fine. Rumble Foreskin's asking for the foot, so foot up.
Are
foot
you
up,
sure
Doug.
this time, Rumble Foreskin?
But the Dream Drop. Did you guys play any of the
Dream
mobile?
Drop Distance?
The mobile King.
I played
game?
Chain of Memories. Matter of fact, no, I don't own it anymore. I had to sell it off. But yeah, I used to own Chain of Memories, and it was another one of those games where it was a really cool concept. They just didn't execute very well. So playing it felt akin to playing something like Zelda 2, Castlevania 2, something with like, okay, here's the established world, here's the established system in which you interact with this world. Now we're going to take the same world, but we're going to have a whole different system in. And so you recognize what you're doing, you recognize who you're with and who you're doing things with, but the way you're doing it is just... They didn't quite get it right this time either. And the difference between this and the other 2 games that I named is they decided, okay, yeah, that was a bad idea, let's not revisit that. As opposed to Zelda 2, where, they got the massive overworld back, but the random, they just cut out the random encounters, and they also... they didn't entirely get rid of the side-scrolling thing. They just kind of tweaked it a little bit. And Castlevania 2 went right back to the open-world 2D thing with Symphony of the Night, and, well, the rest of that is history. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not sure whether or not I'm okay with them getting rid of the card-based system that they had in Chain of Memories, but I'm glad they did something different because I'm one of those kinds of guys.
There's one thing that Wikipedia is pointing out. Oh, the Dark Seeker saga is that thread, by the way, that's going to come to a close. But some of the things, like EA still owns a Star Wars license for gaming, so there may be some reasons that there won't be Star Wars characters in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'll go with
If Spider-Man can be in Avengers, clearly we can put Han Solo in Kingdom Hearts, right? Well, studios can talk together because they'll make millions of billions of dollars. Fillions and fillions of dollars.
Billions and billions of dollars, yes. The way I'm seeing it is this. Spider-Man could be in an Avengers movie because it's not a Spider-Man movie. It's an Avengers movie.
Well, I mean, they still had the license, though.
They do still have the license,
Sony
but
and Disney.
This is the difference between
jerk each other off for that.
Licensing background music and licensing the theme to your television show.
Right.
Same thing here, I think. Disney Infinity, they're making Star Wars characters because, hey... But EA is making the Star Wars games.
Yeah,
I think you could put Star Wars characters into a Kingdom Hearts game because they're not going to be the primary focus. Yeah. You're going to still have Sora and Roxas and Organization 13 and the Nobodies and the Heartless and yada yada yada.
Licensing agreements are tricky monsters, and they include a lot of stuff like you can't say the name of our character.
I'm not
whatever. But. Yeah, so Kurt Wayne Z, thanks for joining us.
Man, we're getting a pretty populated chat line over here. This is cool.
And this is the thing is, I may shift the time, or we may move to Sundays or something, because Monday at 12:30, we get a lot of viewers at the end. Like, a shitload of people come at like 1:30 when we close down. So we'll figure.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this for you guys right now. I like the concept of doing it on Monday because, oh God, it's a Monday. I need to do something at work so I can avoid actually doing work. Let's see what's on Twitch. So they'll show up. My question is It's 1 o'clock. A lot of you guys are showing up for your lunch break, aren't you?
I think they're getting back. I think they went to lunch, came back, and are looking for something to do the rest of the day.
They're looking for more time to kill. Okay, all right. Well, if you have an answer to this question one way or the other, let us know.
Yeah, are you at work right now? Let us know. That'd be great. So jumping back, we'll finish our discussion on Elder Scrolls Online. How many people max party at the same time in the same group?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've had up to like 6 or 7.
Really? So band.
In ours, yeah. A full band, yeah.
Band plus significant others. Have you had a full band plus significant other or do you guys sort of switch off like the 4 of us we'll get on tonight and you'll level to join us or whatever?
We've had like everybody that we play with playing at the same time, and it's been pretty fun. Chaotic a bit because
a lot of people to keep up with.
Yeah, a lot of people to keep up with, and a lot of the times everyone will kind of go their separate ways if they're on different quests and things like that. Like they want to finish them to level up, and a lot of the dungeons I've seen, at least the ones that we've done, have been 4-person dungeons.
4-person.
Like, it's like have a group of 4 people go in there, and of course, Gary Leroy Jenkins the shit out of everything.
He seems like the kind
of
a fuck it attitude.
Yeah, so we went into this one that was... And the cool thing is about these dungeons, the gameplay itself anyway, is like, you can take on high-level shit, right? Mm-hmm. It's like Skyrim or any of the others where it doesn't really matter what level you are. You can take something on if you're good at dodging or anything like that. And that's what's great about the combat. It's not your standard MMO. Point at them, and then you'll take as much damage as you can take.
Just stand there and
you'll sit there and slash them. Yeah.
There's a call in our chat for socks, so I'm just going to point out that like none of us are wearing like fucking socks. So here we go.
This has become a weird foot thing.
Yeah, now. You know it's going to be the foot fetish
you
channel.
Like
this? Rumble Floor says, "Don't listen to Kurt. You're beautiful." Okay, so. What you guys haven't gotten to end game stuff in ESO yet, so I was going to ask, like, what with WoW and sorta with Destiny. Once you get to that top level, you rerun raids and you get better gear so that you can. There's no end to that sentence. There's no reason. ...
Yeah, you have reached the pi, the 3.141.
Have you guys done any group PvP, like gone together to fight other
not yet
clans, groups, or anything like that on the agenda at all, or do you guys mostly just PvE? Is that your...
No, it's definitely on the agenda. To me, it's like it's a little bit of a higher level situation to go into the Cyrodiil PvP. That's kind of it's scarier when you're the low level because everyone's super badasses in there. And
it's the Wild West out there.
Yeah. And there's just so so I haven't even dabbled. I'm gonna go into that.
Have you guys started a clan?
Yeah, we got a guild. It's called the Moonlight Natives.
Moonlight Natives.
Yeah. I told you. It's a band.
Online.
Yeah. And I'm in another guild. You can be into 8 guilds at once, so you can own one and then be in somebody else's guild, and then combine guilds.
I just have a lovely idea.
Huh.
The Moonlight Natives. You started as a lycanthrope, a werewolf, and now you are trying to be a vampire.
So you just became a vampire?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
He's still trying to be a vampire.
But you cured yourself.
Okay. I just cured myself of the lycanthropy?
Yeah.
Lycanthropy curse. And
both of these creatures are denizens of the night.
Absolutely.
So I seriously think the Moonlight Natives should be a Lycan-Vampire alliance.
It would be really cool because the other guild that I'm in is called Fantasia, and they're all a vampire guild. And so when I became a werewolf, they were like, "Dude, this is awesome! You're the only werewolf in the guild." And I was like, "Yeah." And then I cured it, and they were like, "Well, do you want to be a vampire now?" I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, I guess so.
Sure. Why not? But the cool thing is the game is filled with like. You have your standard troll asshole players that do whatever. And the cool thing is there's certain areas in the game, like Riften, for instance, that you go, and that's where people get bit by vampires because there's these blood fiends that like spawn and hang out and like try to bite people.
Right.
And so you'll be sitting there with your group hiding in a bush, ready to attack these NPCs that only come out at night, which is really cool because the game's night and day cycle is really long. So I mean, it's like the day cycle.
Wait there like all night.
Yeah, the day cycle is 3 hours, and then you'll actually see the sun setting, and then like depending on what kind of moon it is, depending on if it's a crescent or a full moon or anything like that, then that allows certain vampires to spawn.
That's one thing that I liked about Final Fantasy XI, which I played. What was the MMO of MMOs? Like, what was the one? Not Ultima Online.
The MMO?
The one that came to PS2. Remember the name of the first MMO that came to PS2 right before Final Fantasy XI?
I played that too.
It was, it may have been a Dungeons & Dragons one.
I just had a can of Angry Orchard. You're making me think too far back. Ow.
Who remembers there was an MMO that was like the popular MMO.
Phantasy
one of the
Star,
first
maybe?
No, it was one of the first 3D ones. It wasn't Phantasy Star.
Online.
I love
It's
gonna
the
drive
hell
me
out of
nuts.
it.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna try
for
and
bringing
look
that
this up.
up. I'm sorry for bringing that up.
I played it on GameCube, and I loved it.
It was on Dreamcast too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But in Final Fantasy Online, the weather would change. Like, even in the same map, the same area, like, the weather would change. And there's one time where Sam and I sat and we, like, sort of watched a storm blow in. And I remember at the time thinking, like, man, this is the future of video games. is watching the weather change.
Yeah. And that's one of the cool things about ESO is the immersion factor of it. Because you're in the Elder Scrolls universe. There's all the lore and all that stuff. But then one of the cool things is the weather system in the game. And a lot of developers don't really pay attention to the fact, or they don't care enough to, when it's raining, if there's a tent or a canopy available, that the rain is not going to start just form and, like, you know what?
EverQuest. EverQuest was the fucking MMO I was trying to think of.
All right, you know what? If
yeah.
Minecraft can keep rain from falling through things, then
Yeah.
surely your MMO can.
Exactly. And that's one of the great things is if it's raining, you can be under something and the rain's not falling. And it's just those little minuscule
And it's
details that
not-
create such immersion.
And it's not just that with Minecraft. With Minecraft, you go underneath something during a rainstorm, and the sound of the rain changes.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
From
Like
to...
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're outside, and then
I'm
it
available
sounds
for
like
Foley
you're
work,
inside.
by the way, guys. I can
You have your ADR man over
do
there.
it right now.
What draws me to ESO the most is every time I go into Skyrim in particular, but every time I go into Skyrim and watching Morrowind and watching Oblivion, it feels so empty. And then they say that it's going to be an MMO, and the first thing I think is you're just going to have a bunch of shitheads just littering the landscape, jumping up and down,
Screwing
doing
with
things.
your
Just
Elder Scrolls experience.
really ruining that level of immersion. for me.
Right. Which, it happens.
But
It
at the
does.
same time, though, John brings up a good point, which is when he's played WoW for so long that when he plays a single player, especially an RPG, something like Skyrim, if he levels up and becomes amazing and has this fantastic armor, no one can fucking see it.
Right.
Whereas if you ride in your golden armor and your silver-plated blingy dragon with the P. Diddy glasses and a big dollar chain around its neck, people are going to go, who's that fucking douchebag?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. And
you get to show off.
yeah, it's true. And that's what's cool about the game is there is a lot of, like, just idiots just
Sure.
this,
Yeah.
That's all you see for a while.
I think you just tune your brain, though, to just mostly ignore it.
Yeah, it's true. And because when you're out in, like, the field with your group and everything, and, like, going back to, like, when we were trying to become vampires, one of the coolest things that we saw, and as shitty as it was, one of the coolest things we saw was, like, we're waiting for the vampires to spawn, and all of a sudden, like, appearing out of, like, a mist was, like, this other player, and he was, like, a master vampire that was, like, super high level, and we're like,
Hi.
oh,
We're bots.
yeah, we go, hey, what's up, dude? And he goes, so you guys waiting to become vampires? And we're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden, the vampires spawn, and he just kills them. And we're like, dude, we were trying to become a vampire. And he goes, well, you can if you join my guild. And we're like, oh my god, we're like, you're a villain. And that's what's so cool and shitty at the same time about the game is, like, it is such a sandbox kind of game that, like, you can truly affect the world around you. You can steal things off tables, and, like, and those will disappear for other characters. If you find a lockbox in the middle of the woods and you're picking it, and somebody comes up to you and you happen to, like, break a lockpick, and you're like, damn it, and all of a sudden a dude pushes you out of the way, you're like, fuck you, dude, and then he gets it, you're like, fuck.
Here's the thing, MMOs, for better or for worse, the best MMOs create memories. So whether you got ganked
Yeah.
or, like, someone fucked your chest, your treasure chest, I mean. or
Crazy!
or forces you into their guild, or like you surprise a guild full of vampires or whatever.
Yeah.
Like whether it works out for you or not, those memories are phenomenal. And that's like my problem really with Destiny, is that I really do love Destiny. I play the shit out of that game, but I do the same things over and over again that every memory there's no uniqueness to it anymore.
Right.
There's very few things where I'm like, oh, that was cool. And when you start, it's great because you go out into a field and you're shooting dudes and you're starting to get overwhelmed, and then someone else rolls up on their sparrow and like wipes them out, and they're like, gives you a thumbs up and you're like, oh yeah, this guy is cool. But you do the same things over and over so often that it, waters that experience down. So I've been thinking about going in that Elder Scrolls route.
Please join us. You'll be welcomed into our
He will be the master vampire, and he will slaughter all those blood fiends.
Because I'm telling you, it's so much fun. I mean, there's never been an MMO that I've played that, like, you're playing with your buddies, and, I've played a lot of MMOs to where you just, like I said, you run up, you point, you click, and you do your
There's like dodges and rolls and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's dodges, jump, and so you're fighting, say, this big, like, skeleton beast guy, right? And
how'd that go again?
Like this big skeleton beast guy, and he's walking around and he's trying to hit you, and you see him coming for a hit, and then you go, oh, fuck you, and you do a backwards dodge, and then pull your bow out and shoot him, then pull your knives out and, like, jump at him, and, slash him while you're in the air.
You can get away with this shit, Rogue. I have to stay there and take it like a chump.
Well, but you don't, because there's also such a great blocking thing that, like, when he comes to hit you, you can throw up your block, and he'll, like, fly back, and then, like, on his, like, then you do, like, a huge hit and knock him, like, clear across the map. And then, like, while he's doing that, then your healer's, like, setting up a, fucking whatever, and then, like...
How much of the cooperation does really... Because, and I've been playing Destiny a lot lately, and it really doesn't fucking matter if you cooperate or not. Like, you can be a healer, I guess, if you want, but it doesn't, like, really make a difference. You all just sort of do stuff. On the flip side, like, Final Fantasy XI was so specific
it was absolutely necessary,
that you absolutely needed everyone to do their fucking job, and if one person missed their timing, like, you could wipe.
Right.
And, WoW has elements of that, although they've eased up on a lot of their stuff to make it accessible and more, fun. But, so how much do you have to rely on?
Well, and ESO, it's like, it can be a single-player game if you want it to be.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's if you build your character right? So if you are a rogue-type character and you see a guy in the distance, he's a high level, if you get the drop on that guy, then, like, yeah, you're going to kill the shit out of him. If you don't, and you fuck up, like, one of your moves, or, like, you happen to, like, not be on target and miss him when you strike, and you're like, oh, well, I'm fucked. So, so it's like, it becomes necessary to, like, have a healer with you, or, like, another mage or a tank or anything like that, because it only benefits you. But you can do it alone if you're cunning enough. You know what I mean? So.
Parker says, is ESO just a less expensive virtual cult at this point? I think Will has made a very good case for that. I think their cult is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's less expensive virtual. I'll totally believe that, because with Scientology you have to keep shipping in, whereas with ESO it's one $60-$70 purchase, and then
$60 purchase, and then and of course they get you at where you can buy crowns, they call them, in the crown store to buy, like, new mounts or things like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, we spent $60 for the game, and then I was like, well, I need a lion to ride, so I'm going to spend $7.99 for that amount of crowns.
Oh, that's actually pretty good.
For
a mount.
Yeah, nothing is, like, expensive.
We're gonna wind this down. Do you have something that you would like to play? Or I see you brought your guitar.
Yeah.
We would love to
I have to
hear
get out people's way.
Anything.
Guitar.
Will Roth is the... How do you guys make that... And I'll ask you this again when you're closer to the microphone. With a group of people that are all, what you said earlier, lead singers, how do you get those personalities to mesh? And also, who does the lyric work for you guys when you...
That's a great question, Stephen. I think we get it to meshes because it's people, I think, in this band don't have, like, big egos. Everyone knows what they want out of it. Mm-hmm. And they know, not to we all know not to like try to push for the limelight or like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of lead singers knowing their place, that what they need to do in the band
as part of a group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So who does the lyric work then?
I do.
You do. Okay.
So this is a song called "Breathing Underwater," and it's about ESO. No, I'm just kidding.
Because I need to get that fucking ring.
In every move you make, play their game. Believe in something other than yourself. You're not a god to them, just a god to you. Well, who's left to repent for the wicked things you ever yet to do? Not a choice but a drive that keeps you alive. Round every turn you'll face the cliff, look down and say goodbye. Like we're breathing underwater, you got nowhere else to go. You sink farther below. Oh, oh, oh. Like we're breathing underwater. No more glow from the city lights as you drift down through the night, yeah. Forget the taste of mistakes you've made, all the lies you gave to sit atop your throne made of souls and bones. You're not a war-torn prince, just a hit and miss, and you're banking on the truth that you tell, embellished by the lies that seem to fit. Not a choice but a drive that eats me alive. Round every turn I will face the cliff, look down and say goodbye. Yeah, like we're breathing underwater. You got nowhere else to go. You sink farther below. Oh, 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 like we're breathing underwater. No more glow from the city lights as you drift down through the night, yeah. Like we're breathing underwater, you got nowhere else to go. You sink farther below. Oh, oh, oh. Like we're breathing underwater. No more glow from the city lights. You drift down through the night, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, fucking tastic. I did not get a chance to ask you about Rising Star, which you were on, and I very much wanted to. So I'm gonna have to have you back at some point.
Right.
But when does the EP come out?
We've been like pushing for, and it's not even like we have them. We want to release them so badly.
They're sitting in a box right now,
yeah,
right?
they're sitting in a box. We did a raffle at our last show, and one of our friends pulled the winning ticket and got it. And she loves the album. I think she's burned it for a few friends.
Sure, yeah. That's
Just
a
like,
good
oh,
thing.
thanks.
When you're first starting out, like
No,
you know,
it's
when
great,
you find
yeah.
your shit pirated online. My
Yeah.
sister wrote a novel, and she found it pirated online, and it was like the best compliment she's ever gotten.
It's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
People want to steal my shit. Awesome.
It's great. But it's we want to release it, but we've just been trying to find the best venue because we want our friends to be in the best venue while we play and while we release it. So it's coming so soon, like within the next like few weeks. So.
All right, so here's your list of things to do. Go to moonlightnative.com. Check out their upcoming sessions on the 26th, July 26th?
July 10th.
July 10th.
July
a lot
10th.
sooner than that.
Yeah.
July 10th. Go to Moonlight Native on Facebook and follow them, and I'm sure that they will post when their EP is coming out and when their events are and stuff like that. You also get to see pictures of Noah and Uriel and Will and the other two band members I've not met personally.
Yeah,
so-
Dustin and Lou, yeah.
Dustin and Lou.
Mhm.
And they're all just gorgeous motherfuckers, so go check that out. And
remember, these guys run the karaoke we regularly attend.
And Sunday nights at the Tap House on 7th Street, they run karaoke, and that's where we met them, and just a fantastic family.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
That's I think the coolest thing of being able to do karaoke is meeting all the great people. It's been so much fun.
There are very few, I mean, and there certainly are, but there are very few douchebags that regular karaoke.
Absolutely.
Very, very few.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we met some fantastic people. So yeah, go check them out in those places. As far as we go, you can go to angrycuddles.com and check out our webcomic. If you're watching on Twitch, follow us on that little heart. Just click it right down there. And all our social media is up there, top left, if you want to follow us there. My name is Steven.
I'm Chuck.
And this is Will Roth from Moonlight Native. Thanks you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next